What's up, Jason? How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Because you're in a new building, and I don't.
We're in a new building. Yeah, new building.
You had the block party yesterday.
Yeah. You missed out. You missed out. New facility. You know, a lot of people want to know like, what happens, what goes on here on a daily basis. There's, people have a lot of questions. They're curious. Maybe we just kind of pull the curtain back and show it off.
Show it off.
We got a curtain right here.
Let's go beyond the curtain.
Let's peel it back and let's go. This is our fab department. They're doing fab. You can see this truck right here, highly modified. It's probably the most modified 56 we've ever done.
I'm like afraid to touch it.
Yeah.
That is cool, man.
Square body, obviously. When you're working on your C10 World page, this is what you'll want to focus on. Oh, wait. Close your eyes, guys. Another C10. All right.
Hey, man.
We do Chevys, we do Fords, we do Dodges, we do...
Was that you that said, like, the best...
Yeah.
Who
Ford guys build the best C10s.
There you go.
That's how I always tease my C10 only people, right? Chevy only people, right? Those guys.
Yeah.
Great friends, and then it's like, man, that is the most awesome as well. Ford guys build the best, right? Here's a really cool slick that we're building for a guy. Got our chassis underneath it, the Porterbuilt chassis, raised bed floor. We got a tunnel that will go in here, and of course inner fenders that will need to be done. But
is this OEM or is this all repop?
No, it's all OEM.
Is it really?
Yeah, we had all blasted and then had it. We actually, when we take it out and have it blasted, sometimes we'll dip some things, and then sometimes we'll blast it. But we have them do a 2K epoxy primer coating that's powder coated on, so it gets everywhere and super like if you look in all the nooks and crannies, it's primered everywhere. And when you just do bare metal, it actually it's hard to prime all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. So this is where all the fab happens here. The guys,
and obviously a lot of this is because you had your block party, so you sort of lined everything up.
Yeah, we kind of line things up.
Yeah,
move things out of the way. Cool. We don't use Miller welders. We don't use Lincoln welders, which they are all good.
You use Everlast.
But we use these Everlast ones.
They're good?
They work great.
Oh.
They honestly work great.
Never heard of them.
They're a third,
I always hear like,
they're a third the cost of all the others.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that.
And so
hey guys, if you need a good welder, third of the cost.
Third of the cost. They've been great. We've had some pedal issues, like occasionally we have to change the pedals out. They are now sending us free pedals.
Hey, well, that's a good business. Yeah. I'd say probably something that you're very well known or becoming and already have been is frames, and I see tons of frames.
Let's come check it out. So all frames are built in-house. We've got this one right here. This is where we do the exhaust on it, all stainless steel. We run MagnaFlows. We run a resonator. I like to run 2 resonators, and the reason why I like to run 2 resonators, I like to run them different sizes. And when you're trying to capture drone and harmonics, that chamber, that size will capture a certain harmonic, and then when you change the chamber to a different one, it'll capture a different frequency. And so you never want to put 2 resonators on when you're trying to get it nice and quiet, get that sound that are the same size, because you're kind of canceling out.
Wow, that is cool, man. You guys do some good work.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We use bellows right here, so if there's any, so this kind of flexes.
That's what I was thinking. I've seen the mesh kind. Right
I like these. I just like the look of them. They both do the same,
but
they look like they
offer front kits, not just frames too.
We do, yeah. Actually, so here's one right here. So this is what we call a level 1, where you can get this front and back half kit. Use your own chassis. So all this is your own. This right here. This is all a factory frame chassis right here. And then you've got a 4-link kit, and so you get all this here, and you get right here. You'll chop chop your frame off.
I like how that just sort of slides in there.
So if you were one of those guys that did like a Crown Vic and will regret it, just teasing Kyle. Anyways, or you had a Volare front end. Back in the day, people put the Volaris.
You got that 56 with the Volare.
Whatever, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I got a mess. I got a hot mess on my hand. That's great. You just chop it off. You can slide this front half on it, and it works. And if we go look at these other frames, like this right here is in essence a front of our chassis. Yeah. So all the geometry and everything is good. We help you align with a factory bolt hole. So these hit like factory bolt holes.
Oh, wow.
So that you can actually just put these on, bolt it onto your frame, and you're good to go. We did all this work, had it all installed in one day.
You guys, do you usually stick with Falcon on the struts and shocks and stuff?
We do, yeah. They make a really good product, and so we've kind of stuck with them because they kind of met our needs. So this is an actual chassis.
Stage what on this one?
So level 2.
That is nice for a level 2, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
How many levels are there?
Well, the levels are like heights. And so then this is a full chassis, and so the full chassis
goes lower.
Yeah, you can go lower. This is 14-inch. You can get them with 12s. That's the standard, is 12-inch rotors. But then you can upgrade them, and it's not actually too much. I think it's a couple grand. You get 14-inch rotors. The funny thing is the difference between 13-inch and 14-inch is like $200.
Wow.
So,
jeez.
So why do 13?
Yeah.
So that's usually it's 12 or straight to 14.
Who do you guys?
So yeah, we use Boyd welding. So check this out. This is a tank. There's a lot of controversy on fuel. We don't use aeromotive fuel pumps in our Coyote swaps or Godzilla swaps or anything like that. And
why?
They make a good product, baffles in there, which are great, but there's sometimes when you get low on fuel, there's just not enough fuel around your pump. And if you run low on fuel too many times, you can actually heat up that pump and you can lose your pump. Now, losing your pump and getting an aeromotive pump in a time of crisis, wherever you are, is actually really crappy.
Yeah.
Because it's an aftermarket part. So what we did is we designed these tanks with Boyd. So they're exclusive to FatFender Garage.
Oh, wow.
And this is a Mustang GT pump or a Mustang GT 500 pump, depending on if you have supercharged. And so if you notice, there's no sending unit here.
Yeah.
Right? That's missing because it's built into this. Okay. So all the wiring that plugs into here has your sending unit built into it. And so you don't have to adjust anything because it's all adjusted here. And then you take that and wire it all up to your gauges. And then we actually got decoded digital gauges to add the ohms that we need to manage this. So it all worked out, and it's works out to where just select the right ohms and you're good to go. But
that's a lot of probably trial and error, and you guys just figuring out how to make it work.
Yeah, and I've never actually had a bad pump since we've gone with an OEM style pump. So we had the same ones with like AC Delco.
If we're doing OEM, dude.
Yeah. So if we're doing a Chevy, it's an AC Delco. If it's Ford, it's a Mustang GT.
Huh. So. Cool.
Yep. Wow. All stainless steel brake lines, and then we don't hide any of the stainless steel brake lines inside the frame because I actually want to know if something's leaking.
Yeah.
Right. So if you got
it leaks here and it drains out somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere else, and you're like, where is it? What? And so
because a rock hit it or something.
Yeah, I want to know like where the leaks are, so we don't ever put any brake lines. But
so from afar, what do we have over there?
So all the chassis that you see here, all are built here, and Porterbuilt builds all of our chassis.
Okay.
And he also builds Chevy chassis for other people as well.
Yeah.
This is a Gen 2 Ford Bronco chassis.
So I noticed on the 4-wheel drive, at least most that I've seen, you guys do that.
Yeah, it's basically strengthens this tower up. It's mostly
what they do in racing. They'll put
it's mostly aesthetics.
Yeah.
You could actually take it off and just put some bolts here and be done. Yeah. You can see a little lineup of chassis right here.
Let me get that lineup.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I noticed you kind of have like assembly lines. This is assembly line. That was an assembly line. Like, wow.
Now you can see they run Miller here. We don't see eye to eye. But you know how you get indoctrinated and you stick with one thing after a while. You can see that they are fans of Miller's.
Oh my gosh, look at the size of that engine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow. And this is kind of a stock frame?
So this is a front and back half kit. Yep.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
Wow, okay. So you do have kits that slide on, like you said, but then also
just bolt in. Yep.
Wow. I love bolt in. I know, people are going to say weld in only, but you can do both. Maybe
you can do both, and it's reinforced really well. You actually can, if you wanted to really get weird about this, you could actually just help weld it right here.
Yeah.
And you could just weld it on there if you chose to, just to strengthen it up rather than just bolts. But
man, how you were treating that C10 over there on the streets, it was amazing how it, like, the back end didn't break loose.
Yeah. We were doing burnouts.
I mean, it was, yeah, but I mean,
straight.
You know, the whole, like,
yeah.
No.
No.
It was amazing.
I've noticed when we drive these pretty hard that they track real straight. Even with burnouts, like it does. Nate's been building chassis for about 20 years. Front end parts, clips, and chassis, and at the end of the day, he has all the caster, camber, all the steering, how everything should be, so that it does well.
And I see a bunch of parts over there.
Yep. Yeah, these are just parts that get welded up.
And that's kind of what they do. Well, it looks like they weld here, but I see ventilation over there and stuff. Or
yeah, they've got some machines over here that they suck. So there's a welder there. There's welders there.
Yeah.
So they've got some guys doing some weld. Yeah.
Dude, this is amazing. And then of course that's just more parts and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's where it all starts. It all gets cut down there.
Okay.
And then it kind of moves this way, and then once it gets down here, then it gets on the chassis frame.
So, you know, a lot of people ask, how is it to work here? How do you do?
Well, it's great. I love working here.
It's great. I bet you.
What it's like to work here is you got to be on time. You got to keep it clean.
Yeah.
And not just the shop, but your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of things that really matter to me. People coming on a tour, they got their kids, and you know, it doesn't mean I'm on you, right? Like, hey, did you say something? Right. But you know, we try to just keep it, clean all the way around. So I'm super concerned about organization. I'm super concerned about efficiency. I'm super concerned about people having what they need to do their job.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, keep it clean.
Speaking of clean, are we in the body?
This is a body shop. We do a lot of body work back here.
Really clean.
So this is a body shop. So obviously I need them sweep and mop, but at the end of every day, it's very close to like this.
If anybody's ever done body work, they know how much mess.
It's messy. We have machines like this that we got from 3M. So a lot of people ask, well, what sandpaper do you use? Well, let me be honest with you. We use 3M Purple. Why would we use the most expensive stuff on the market? It lasts 2 to 3 times longer. It cuts faster. And so it actually reduces the amount of time my guys spend, which saves my customer money, and we don't go through as much. So in the very end, it actually is cheaper.
That's cool. Believe
it or not. So, and then we have this dustless sanding system we use. So we got these DAs, and it sucks the dust through here. Yeah. And so when we're doing DAs and we got some blocks and different things, we try to use this to help suck as much dust as we can. Okay. And so like if you're sanding the bottom of a cab from years of crust, and my guys love it because when they're done, they're still clean. They're not dirty from all that garbage. So
you do a little bit of everything. So show us how you do that.
We do a little bit of everything. And one thing I will mention is somebody said, one of the guys from Good Guys show said, all your employees are young.
Yeah.
Right. And I said, well, yes, they are young. But also I really like giving people opportunities. Yeah. That's the best part, is just, here's an opportunity. Let's take a look at it. What can you do?
Yeah.
And see if we can teach them, train them, and get them to advance in something that they're really interested. I have a friend whose son, he's into metal fab. He said he was into metal fab, but let's be honest. When he came here,
we had to teach him
a lot. But he had a knack for it.
Yeah.
And
who else would have given that opportunity?
Right. And so we a little rough in the beginning, let's be honest. Like we didn't charge him for like the work he was doing for like the first month, because we had somebody over him and teaching him and making him come in on Fridays and practice TIG welding on his own, that kind of stuff, right? But now he's been motivated, and he's really he's becoming a good fabricator.
You rewarded his tenacity to want to
He did, and now here he is. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
And he's succeeding. He's making $3-4 more an hour than he was 7 months ago, and so it is working out. So I like to help people get better,
Yeah.
That motivates me as seeing somebody that wants to get into the industry, try to figure out a way to get people into it. So I kind of like that. I want to help people get started in, because if we just got a bunch of old people, right, the industry phases out. It's just it's about getting people into it. And sometimes they play the I'll go work for 5 other companies and try to get my wage up. Some people play that game, and then they miss out and the real growth, because we're going to keep investing into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so from here it goes into the paint booth and back out, and when it's finished painting, it goes on the other side of the paint booth. This is pretty cool right here.
It's something you dove into. How long ago have you done 4-wheel drive stuff?
We've actually done 4-wheel drive for a number of years.
Though, you've been doing,
but we just started doing 4-wheel drive frames.
Yeah.
And we've got them for all the crew cabs, all the single cabs, all the long wheelbases. And so this one happens to be a 79 XLT. It's known as, the truck is called Pepper. Used to be owned by Roman at Keeping It Classics, and now it's owned by Howard Kendrick, a former professional baseball player.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool guy. And so it's on a brand new chassis. It's got 12-inch coilovers. It's got a lot of travel. And so we're going to put the amp running boards, because it is a little tall, right? Like, here it is.
A little, huh?
But these are also 37s. And then another thing you'll notice is I was really worried, because I've seen a lot of 4-wheel drives where these stick out here, about 3 inches. And so what I did is I took a plumb bob from right here down to the ground, plumb bob on the other side. I measured in between, and I said, this is exactly where I want the outside of my tire to hit, is the furthest outside right here. So when you stand behind here and look, you can capture that. That's exactly what happens.
Look at that. Gosh.
Yep. So, and it provides the very best look without looking sucked in or too wide, and it gives us like the perfect stance on these. And we put a lot of time into it to design it to get that way, so that we could achieve this look. And we were able to do it. We made the decision to do that with off-the-shelf, go by real custom tires. But I was like, I don't think these 4-wheel drive guys want to go spend $10,000, right?
Especially
or wheels. I mean wheels. Right? I said tires, right? So most of them are going to want to say, hey, I've got this truck. I want to go get some KMCs, bead locks, whatever their standard offset is. That's what I'm going to go with, and then I will put it on, and everything will be great. Well, and it is, because we designed it. That's how it was all designed, was to get off the shelf wheels. And so,
are those one piece? Well, I mean,
they're actual bead locks,
but it's a one piece.
Yeah.
With bead locks. Wow.
Yeah, so they're the affordable version of a bead lock. And even if it wasn't bead locked, your wheel would be, in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
And so if you go to 10s and a 1350 width tire, it only pushes it out a ½ inch. And so it gives you all the space you need.
Dude, you have so many trucks here. It's amazing. Look at this, guys. We don't have time to talk about any of these, like all of these. It's wild.
Let's hit 2 more.
I wish we would be here all day, dude.
I know, we could be here all day. So check this out. 1959 fridge truck.
Oh my god.
Factory 4-wheel drive. So this is the first year that Ford actually came out with a 4-wheel drive truck.
Wow.
And so this customer has this, check this out, Boss 572, right? Legit motor, very expensive motor.
Kamikaze.
Yep, very cool. Well, you can see the customer is like, hey, can we do like larger primaries? So these are 2 1/4 inch primaries, which is very oversized. But if we were to take these down, we were like, Houston, we have a problem. And it was like, well, do we try to come up here and try to snake it down through here?
Yeah.
It was just really, really difficult, especially with this like coming up and traveling.
You got the travel. You got to.
So this curls around forward, hits and merges into this size here, 3 inch. Comes around, this then comes in here, and then they tie and merge together right here. And then from here, it goes to
one heck of
a much larger 4-inch exhaust all the way out. Now, we're not sure exactly what it's going to sound like. We're hoping cool. And then we came out with dual exhausts that kind of fit right under the bumper here.
Shout out to your welder, man. That's
I know,
amazing stuff.
Yeah, when you go look at all his like little pie cuts and stuff, I was like, and we won't mention how much this exhaust system costs for so that the
all of that ingenuity.
The customer, his wife, doesn't kill him. He even brought it. He goes, man, that exhaust is really expensive. One, I was like, oh, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Total pain in the neck. But custom one-off exhaust is like this is not cheap, but pretty cool. So, real cool.
This one blew up on social media.
Yeah, it's a 1948.
So
his own wrap. He did his own wrap on it, but it is a brand new chassis, owned by a company that has this Leucadia tequila, and so he liked this color because it reminded him of one of the colors of tequila that they have.
Yeah.
And then he had these special wheels and tires package, which are really too wide for the front, but he wanted to keep it. So he kind of cut it and a bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, fast Coyote motor, 6-speed manual. This thing gets and rips. It's pretty cool. Like, it's fun. Had a check engine light, so he got worried. Brought it in. Turns out it was nothing. It's just basically like, hey, you revved me a little too high one time.
Just let you know.
Let you know. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Although this bar right here is for aesthetics. It literally just
bolted to wood.
Just bolted to wood. So I imagine it would help a little bit, but it's also going to bust off. But he wanted that race look.
That's cool.
So pretty cool.
What else you got? Also, by the way, quick shout out to this. I love that.
Oh, yeah,
and you have another utility.
Yeah, we got one right here. Check it out. This one's actually mine. Believe it or not. Yeah. This is the first truck I'm building for myself, Craig.
Oh, really?
Yep. That I'm actually keeping. I always sell everything. I get like, oh, okay, I'll sell it.
Dude. Yeah.
But I'm not selling this one. This one I'm actually keeping. This is a 1970 Ford F250. Yes, it has 5 lugs on it. I know that, but it didn't when it showed up. It had 8.
Okay, you put a little cover over that.
Yeah, this is a long bed, and but it belonged on the Burbank Studios. Of course, we've got the F100 World World flag up here.
Right, yeah,
and
I approve.
Yep, and then it was pretty cool because you can see it lived its life on the Burbank Studios.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Grip service vehicle. So when you open it up and look inside, I wish I could meet the guy that drove this truck, but this thing is like
clean. Oh my God.
It's like so clean for a service body, and this is pretty cool. These guys built really good service bodies.
Geez. Wow, dude, this is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Of course, there's King Mercury's.
Yeah.
And he's got a new chassis underneath it, sitting, a couple inches higher than it did before.
Yeah, I helped push this in. This sucker's heavy.
We haven't connected the steering to it yet.
Wow, it's a project. You're getting her done.
Wow,
yeah. Look at that.
So we were just, before we go to powder coat, we wanted to make sure.
Test fit, right?
Yeah. You want it to be right.
That's why you're good at what you do, man. That's cool.
A lot of extra work to make it right, but at the end of the day, we want Roman to be happy.
Yeah.
It's all about keeping Roman happy.
So, what I noticed in our little conversations here is that you have actually shared a lot of little tricks that you guys have learned along the way. Like you mentioned the fuel, based on Coyote motors and the tanks and stuff like that. You mentioned people that did a Crown Vic and then you sort of found a way for them to have a slide-on type of front end clip. If you want to rock the original.
Well, and the reality is a Crown Vic does work.
Yeah.
For a budget, like it keeps that price
if that's
down.
Your project budget,
and if your project budget is that, it's great. We also can, get a front, like it's all a la carte. We can get you part of it, and then you can come back later and buy more of it, and then you can come back later and buy more of it until you have it all purchased, and you have the full setup.
Yeah.
But I learned. So we did one Crown Vic, and it rode nicely.
Yeah.
I'm not here to say it was terrible. I would never do it again. I'd be lying. But it rode nicely. But I did not like how much work it took to put it in. I didn't like that. And then the next thing was I didn't like having to rebuild everything and get all these other parts in and rebuild. I didn't like having to do that. And so I just, we decided to just go a little different direction. And I really wanted, something that was specifically designed for that truck. The Crown Vic was designed for a Ford town car, right? Yeah. It was never designed to be in a truck. Now that's old school hot rodding. Yeah. Take something here and put it in here. That's old school hot rodding, right? And we're just trying to be new school hot rodding and make sure that what we're giving you is designed for that.
What I see from my perspective as I talk to you and other people and driven in, your builds with the frames is that you had, don't want to say an issue or a problem, but you had a hurdle and you figured out the hurdle. But besides just doing that one hurdle for that one, customer or client, you actually have parts for it now. You offer.
We do, yeah.
Like you didn't just fix it for that one.
No.
You took it as like a lesson, and then
if I have as many trucks as we're building, if I had this hurdle one time, I'm going to have it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, we just made this part. I don't want to make this part again later.
Yeah.
So for us, we just decided that, hey, let's make this part. Let's get it designed. We'll draw it all up. And then from here, if it's something we feel that is useful for us, then we'll go ahead and place an order for 50 of them.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead and put it on the website and we'll try to solve that problem for other people that are going to run into the same problem that we're running into. So it's kind of how it started until you have, 500 parts on your website. And so, but it's just continuing to solve. And as we continue to build more trucks and different engines, then we're, assessing the need, to solve all those problems. So that hopefully a guy is in his garage, he's home, he's just decided he's going to do a project truck, and he's just getting the confidence to do it. We want to be your partner.
Yeah.
We're here to help you.
Yeah, that's what F100 World is. If you got a question,
exactly.
We'll say, hey, you have that, or maybe this other guy has that idea.
Solutions, right? Yeah, solutions. And so, is our solution the solution? No, obviously not. It's a solution. Yeah. And there's a lot of ways to, skin a cat here, if you will. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that everyone's trying to be helpful. Yeah. Right? With wherever you are. And then there's stuff I get on the F100 World or whatever pages and groups I'm on, and I try to get on there and help. Yeah. And some stuff I'm like, I don't actually know the answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm interested to learn.
Or politely tell people that that information is not entirely correct.
Yeah. That happens. Yeah, that happens.
That's awesome, man. Guys, I think the tour pretty wrapped up. I think we saw everything behind the curtain. Next, we're going to talk about this truck, but what do you think the takeaway is for people who have heard of your product or watching this, seeing all the things that we just spoke about? That you're offering up information as well as solutions, possible solutions. What's the takeaway that someone can get from FatFender Garage, you think?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it is that we are striving for excellence. We're striving to be the very best at what we can do. It doesn't mean the very best. It just means we're striving to be our very best. And we're striving to be also helpful in the community. We want people to succeed. Right? When people succeed, they feel good about it. They feel happy about it. And so that's all we want. We just want to be helpful. We just want to be helpful. Feel cool.
Yeah.
Right? Have fun. Have a good time with it. And then give us a call. We're happy to help you and offer, knowledge and information if we can. And
but hey, you know what else you can help people for? Is you have trucks for sale.
We do.
If you have a truck if you want a truck.
Okay, let's be honest. If you got a lot of money and you want instant gratification and you want one of the nicest 67 F100s.
Well, you know what I noticed is that you actually have brands that you work with and recommend. That's another thing, information-wise, people can learn.
We do, we do. And
from you guys.
Yeah, we do get fixated on brands.
Yeah.
Right? So like, for instance, our paint.
Recommended or whatever.
Yeah, so we'll have like partners. We'll just call them partners.
Yeah.
Right? These partners. And like McGuire's is a partner with us, and so we use all their stuff. BASF. We use all their stuff on paint. They're just the partners that we've decided to work with, and we stay with it so that that relationship is good.
Yeah.
Whether it's MagnaFlow, whether it's, you know, again, people use, I've used Borla, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, but what happens is consistency with a product.
Yeah, there you go.
Comes with consistency with a partner, right? So that's what we're trying to work on, is so if I have an issue, I call them up, I got a direct line to them, we can talk about it, we can get it resolved. So we stick with a lot of partners that we can be really consistent with, that have a lot of good products, not just some.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, we use Willwood brakes for everything.
Yeah.
And there are other good companies, but Willwood literally has everything under the sun. If I call them and I have a problem, they're literally right there. They help me figure it out. It's not just the part, it's the company, or it's the mission. It is. It's the relationship.
Yeah.
Right? This hot rod industry, whether you work with us or we work with our vendors or whatever it is, it's about a relationship.
Yeah.
And are they going to be there when I need them?
Follow through. Yeah.
Right? And that's important. So
this is for sale.
This is for sale. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, it's $475,000. Don't lowball me. Okay? I know what I got. Right? Awesome. And so rust-free, right?
Rust-free. So how do they get a hold of you if they're interested?
You can just email me, jason@fatfender.com. Send me an email if you're interested, and let us know. It's got really cool ambient lighting on the inside. Like it really is awesome. So if you're interested, let me know. We'll give you all the cool features. Going to be in a magazine. I think it's going to be in the F-Series magazine.
Yeah, is that what I saw him? Is that why he's here?
Yeah. So
nice.
We'll get that.
Saw the photographer and everybody.
Yeah, everybody's working on it. So,
that's so cool.
Great time. So if next year, come to the block party.
Yeah.
It'll be the same Good Guys weekend in March. Always a Friday. And we had a little rain, so I think we probably lost about 25% of the people. But come to the block.
So did Good Guys.
Yeah, Good Guys lost. Yeah. It's just kind of one of those days, you know, rain or shine, you just do it. But you're always welcome to stop by, come hang out. There's people here, they can give you a little tour. Well, speaking of that, thank you for the tour. Yes, thank you for carving out the time. Thank you for talking me in and inviting me out to Good Guys in your shop. It was an honor, man. And I'm blown away by the quality, but it's also just how many cool trucks, mostly Ford, that you have around here. And it's amazing, dude. And I really appreciate the F100 World community as well, and your F100 World Facebook group and your Instagram and all that stuff. You do a really good job, Craig, of keeping, promoting the product, keeping everybody civil, right? Follow some rules and guidelines so we can all enjoy it, right? Yeah. People losing their minds and in all these groups, right? It happens. It just happens. Forum days, right? Yeah. But you've been a great partner to work with, and someone and also a friend, right? You've just been a good friend, and we've had a good time hanging out this weekend. Dude, you're awesome. I appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do for the Ford world, man. Appreciate it. See you later.